Buongiorno everyone, welcome back to the Magpie Channel TV. Nice live player ratings for you lot to enjoy tonight, Sunday night, after enjoying Saturday. Very much enjoyed Saturday after that 4-0 win over Villa. Let's dive straight into it. Make sure you're getting yours in the comments below. I'm going to move the microphone a little bit closer so that I can sound better, hopefully. Let us know in the comments how you are doing, how you rated Newcastle's players after yesterday's big thrashing over Aston Villa. Evening, Daniel. Hope you're good, mate. Thank you for being a member. Nick Pope. Not wasting any time here. Gonna get into it, right? Gonna get into it. Nick Pope. Another clean sheet. Another clean sheet for Nick Pope. And a pretty easy day at the office, really, especially... Well, you know what it is? The first 20 minutes, 30 minutes, it's kind of went under the radar because of how much we absolutely battered them in the second half and the good timing of our first goal, the penalty before half-time. But, you know, there were some moments that Villa had in that opening 20, 30 minutes. The Buendia was causing a few problems getting in. Nick Pope made a couple, you know, one or two good saves. One with his legs at one point. You know, he did what was needed of him at 0-0. And another clean sheet. I'll give him a 9 out of 10. You know what I mean? Another clean sheet. He didn't have obviously the busiest day. Obviously, I mean, he may as well have been in the stands with us after the second half. You know, after half time, he could have been doing whatever he wanted. He could have went home with his umbrella. You know, he wouldn't have mattered. They didn't do no second half, Villa. They don't remember. But in that first half, a couple of good saves early on when Villa were trying to hit one on the counter. 9 out of 10 for Nick Pope. Good, clean sheet. Captain Trippier was immense yesterday, like absolutely brilliant down that right-hand side. That corner, that set piece that we did was unreal. Straight off the training ground for Wilson's header. Lovely play, lovely little dinked ball from Trippier into Wilson. And we'll get on to Wilson's World Cup chances soon. But that partnership between Trippier and Wilson, Southgate in the stands, watching Trippier assist Wilson, can only benefit him. It can only help him. It can only improve Wilson's England chances, knowing that Trippier is playing with him week in, week out, and, you know, assisting him like that, and he knows how each other works. So Trippier was class, defended that side perfectly. He can have an 8 out of 10. Fabian Schär, again, brilliant. I mean, this bloke, it's just, when we first signed him, we thought, what a bargain he is at 3 million, what a great player. He fizzled out for a good year. He looked like his time was gone. There was calls for him to leave the club, contract was ending and whatnot. Now he's just playing the best football of his life. Surely the best football of the Switzerland international's life. He was just immense. Again, any little sniff, he gets rid of it. Any long pass, he finds it. You know, his range of passing is unbelievable, man. And he's just so good at the back. Partnered by Botman. Shaw can have an 8. Botman can have an 8 as well. You know, them two at the back are performing and growing into one of the best centre-back partnerships in the Premier League for me. I mean, technically, the best as it stands statistically, as we have the best defensive record in the Premier League. Flying at the minute, least goals conceded in the league, just 10 goals conceded for the likes of Botman and Schär. And Botman still hasn't lost a game as a Newcastle player. That continues. Just one of the most elegant and stylish centre-backs you'll see. A proper modern-day centre-back, very comfortable with and without the ball, really composed. And considering his age, it's scary how good he could get. Dan Bain. Now, Dan Bain, I did the defence for Dan Bain of why he should get in the England side in the match reaction yesterday, so go have a look at that if you haven't already seen it. But all this talk about Wilson, Dan Bain's going to get a shout for England. Southgate's watching in the stands yesterday. He's got to see how good Dan Bain is. At left-back, at centre-back when the substitutes were made. He can play two positions very well. He's just been so consistent for us. I haven't seen him do one mistake, one bad thing. And as a defender, it's quite easy to slip up now and again. Bain has been absolutely brilliant. Brilliant, Dan Bain. Brilliant Bain. He can have an 8 as well. We'll get onto the midfield in a minute. Let's just see what you lot are saying in the comments. Have a crack with you lot since we are live, and I appreciate you all tuning in live. Evening, Martin. Champions League, here we come. Well, yeah, at least, you know what I mean? Title charge at this rate. Evening, Gwen. Evening, Jan. Good evening. I like it. Emery watching from the stands yesterday. Was he regretting his decision? We'd love to see Villa go down. Be hilarious. We'll win the league. Love it. 9 for Pope there. Evening, Aaron. In the chat as always. What a turnaround, says Peter. Brian Evening. Right then, happy days. See you there. Let's go into Bruno Guimaraes again. Produces a stellar performance. Just a stellar performance from Bruno. Just glad he's obviously had a bit more kip now that he's had that baby. And he was, 2 days after playing with no sleep against Spurs. And then obviously having a few days now, he's just still as good. He's just top class, isn't he? And obviously we've said Southgate was in the stands, England manager. So was Brazil's manager in the stands at St. James's yesterday. He was out with Bruno for dinner on the Friday night. He was in the ground yesterday at Newcastle. He was at Old Trafford today, watching the likes of Fred and that play. The worst Brazilians, Casemiro and that, you know. Best midfielder in the Premier League, Bruno. Best Brazilian, Bruno. Bruno was class yesterday again. Over 70 passes yesterday from Bruno. And elite baller. Again, if you watch the highlights, you see a couple of movements again where he's doing that lob pass over the top to Almirón. That's becoming a bit frequent, and it's just class. You know, what a lovely move that is. And every time Bruno gets the ball, it's a joy to watch. He's some player. 8 out of 10. Sean Longstaff, Newcastle's hardest working player this season. Statistically, he's covered the most ground, and you could see that yesterday. There was one moment where there was a bit of frustration in the crowd where he sprayed a ball straight into the dugout, completely put it out of play for an opposition throw. That was the only thing he did wrong that day, though. I thought he was very steady and assured throughout the game. Again, covering loads of grass, putting in a proper shift in the middle of the park, getting stuck in as well. You know, we've got the skill of Bruno. We've got Joelinton on as well who can come back and muscle his way in. But Sean's doing a lot of the dirty work now, and you know, on a tough condition yesterday, I think, with the weather in that middle of the park, he was getting stuck in. Tackles were flying, and he's doing his job well. I'll give Sean Longstaff a 7 out of 10. Joe Willock gets better and better every week now for me. He's finally getting back to some form. Obviously, that patch he had when he was on loan with all those goals was never going to happen again. But I think a goal's coming, and he keeps on getting a hand in goals. He's getting some assists. He's getting in some big involvements in and around the box, the opposition third, but he just hasn't got his own goal yet. But he helped win the penalty, giving it Almirón, and he drags defenders towards him. So with his darting runs into the box, it allows us to have space to get the ball, like a Wilson, to drag defenders away from danger. They come to Willock. He distracts defenders. And a solid shift from him. An effortless shift from Joe Willock yesterday, who I'll give a 7, maybe an 8, actually. Yeah, I'll give Joe Willock an 8 out of 10, 7.5. Don't really do 0.5s, but I've just done one there. Before we get into the front three, I'm going to get back into the chat, see what you lot are saying. Did one last week, mate. Live watch along. So tune in more, will you? We did live watch along for Spurs, live watch along for Man U. Should do more live streams, though. Do agree. Try and do one a week, I think. But it's nice doing ones at this, and then we can have a bit of crack after the player ratings are finished. If you've got some questions and there's enough crack in the comments to talk about a couple of things, we can do it. But should probably do them more. I'll give you that. Typical Bruno performance, 9 out of 10, 7 out of 10. Paul, love how solid we are. What a defence. Yeah. That's a lovely one. Thank you very much. Jeffrey Dahmer. Jeffrey's was a lot blonder than this, but mine will be blonde again next week. I was going to say I had these glasses before Jeffrey, but obviously didn't because he's dead. But yeah, what happened to Keg? Keg was on a fan cam yesterday. Check it out. But Keg is a busy family man now, so that's why he's not on many videos anymore. Hello, Diego. Good to see you in the chat, mate. Let's get this up to 100 likes. Indeed, let's smash that. Almirón. All right then, Miguel Almirón. Wow. When does it end? When does it end with this bloke surprising me week after week? It's getting ridiculous now from Almirón. You know what I mean? Miguel Almirón. Just Messi Almirón. I'm saying it again. Messi Almirón. I've said it on Sky Sports at the start of the week, and I'm saying it now at the end of the week. What a player, man. That goal. I was in the stands, and as soon as he took that touch, I said, the bloke next to us, this is going in this. 25 yards out, and you just think it's going in. And I never thought I'd say that about Almirón, that when he gets the ball on the edge of the box, he's going to shoot and score. Everything he touches this season is going in. More goals than Messi this season, 7 goals. He's one of the highest scoring wingers in European football, Miguel Almirón. More than Messi this year, more than Salah, more than a long list of players. All right, Sadio Mane in Germany now. Almirón. It's all about Almirón. And his work rate, again, was so good throughout the game. He did miss a good chance, I think. He did miss a good chance early on when he was one-on-one. But there was a good save by the keeper, but he probably should have done better. But hey, doesn't score easy goals. Only scores worldies. So we'll take that as long as he puts them in. What a wonderful strike that is, man. Absolute wonder goal from Almirón in the top corner. His smile at the end, his buzzing celebration. You love to see it. It's absolutely mental. And he did earn the penalty for Newcastle as well, Miguel Almirón. So another outstanding performance. 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10 for Messi Almirón. Joelinton on the other side, who again was a bit further forward, and I was so happy for Joey to get his goal. Big J7, and I talked about Almiron's smiley face of celebrations. Joelinton just goes absolutely rage when he scores. He goes mental. Like Ketsabaya, booting the advertising boards. He loses his mind. Passion steaming through him. And yeah, you love to see it. I think, Joelinton was quality yesterday. So powerful in his play and his build-up, and he's battling with people down that left-hand side. Pleased for him to be in the right area at the right time and get a goal. I think he deserves that goal. I think, was that his first of the season? I haven't got that wrote down here, but I'm looking at some stuff I have got notes on. But I think it's his first goal of the season, and he deserves it. But unfortunately, he does miss the Southampton game now. J7, 5 yellow cards for him. Means he misses the trip to St. Mary's on Sunday, which is a shame, which I will be at. So if you're down there, give us a shout. Looking forward to that away day. Joelinton won't be making that away day. So be interesting to see what Eddie Howe does with that one. Will he bring in Shelby? Will he just start Bruno, Sean and Willock, and then bring in maybe a Murphy on the left-hand side, maybe a Fraser? There's options there. St. Maximin, actually. That's what you should do. Keep the midfield the same. Bruno Guimaraes, Joe Willock, and Sean Longstaff as that midfield 3, and start St. Maximin at Southampton. That's what you should do. 10 out of... No, not Joelinton 10 out of 10. I gave 10 out of 10 to Almirón. I'm going to give Joelinton a 9 out of 10. I was tempted to just give everyone 10s today because we've won 4-0, but standards are getting high now. Wilson does get a 10 out of 10. Spoiler. 10 out of 10 for Callum Wilson, and surely he has got his place at the World Cup now. Callum Wilson, the World Cup must be beckoning for him. He must be having a plane ticket to Qatar. Southgate's in the stands smiling when Wilson scored. He got 2, could have, maybe should have had a hat-trick. Obviously, he hit the bar, he put one over the bar. He was unlucky, though. I think he deserves his hat-trick. Even for the, where Joelinton got the rebounded goal, I think Wilson should have scored there. But his overall play was fantastic. His movement causing problems non-stop. Right handful for defenders. If he's fit, come a couple of weeks' time, when the squad's announced or whenever the playing is, he's got to go. He's got to go. And, he deserves it. He really deserves it. And I, for one, in the past used to be like, I'm not awesome if a Newcastle player gets picked for England, but now I am, because when you become a big club and you want to be a big club in that top 4 in Europe and attract the big players, you have to have international stars. We've seen that with Bruno. He's week in, week out for Brazil. You need those type of players in there. Trippier, it brings in so much more mentality, skill, leadership, everything. It lifts everyone around you. And if they know that if Wilson's getting picked for England, other players that Newcastle might try and sign who are in and amongst the England fringe or in the England team will come to Newcastle because they know that they can get picked there. So I think it's big. I think Wilson seems like a great bloke, and I think he deserves it. He fully deserves that call-up. So I hope he gets the chance to go to Qatar and impress and get a chance. There's no reason why he shouldn't be there. I think you look at the strikers that will be going. Obviously, Harry Kane, Marcus Rashford scored a brilliant header today. He'll go. So who else you got? Tammy Abraham, Ivan Toney, Calvert-Lewin, Callum Wilson. Callum Wilson's the 3rd best choice there. I don't even have him instead of Rashford. He's the 2nd best choice for me. If he's fit, he's the 2nd best choice behind Harry Kane, and a very strong 2nd choice because he's a top-class goal scorer. He's an elite finisher, Callum Wilson. It's just his injury record. But at the minute he's fit, he's firing, he's banging in goals. He's got to go to the World Cup. So 10 out of 10 for Callum Wilson. Before I get into Eddie Howe and the substitutes, actually I'll do a couple of the subs first. But before I do the substitutes, let's dive back and see what you lot are saying. Let's go up. What is I saying? I've wanted for years, a team that tries. Cheers, Jag. And I to be fair, I'm like that with other channels. I don't realise that they put things up. Like Simon Wilson, for example, big fan of Simon Wilson, the lad who does the travel vlogs. I never realised he puts the videos on. Got to hit that bell. Hit the bell on the Magpie Channel TV so you get notifications when we do uploads. Because for some reason, YouTube likes to make life difficult for your videos to get put out there, I think. You know what I mean? Used to be easier to get shown, I think. So things I just pick and choose. Daniel, with a huge game next week, considering Arsenal versus Chelsea. Oh, I didn't even realise that was the fixtures next week. Arsenal versus Chelsea. Hopefully, goodness can do her a favour there. And Spurs, Liverpool. You've got to fancy Spurs to win that one, to be honest, like, because of the way Liverpool are playing. Watched them last night when I got in after doing the fan cams, and they were awful against Leeds. They've been crap for weeks, haven't they? Almirón playing like a prime Arjen Robben. He is, like, cutting in on that left-hand side and bending one in. Arjen Robben. I used to love Arjen Robben. Q and I am looking forward after the World Cup every bit we have with how. Well, this was a debate I was having with, and I think this could be for another stream to go into in detail. Is the World Cup going to be a good or a bad thing for Newcastle United? On one hand, you're thinking it's bad because when you're winning games in a row and you've got momentum, you don't want it to end. And then on the other hand, you're thinking gives us a chance to get Isak fit, Shelby fully fit, St. Maximin fully fit, sign a couple of players in January and become stronger. It's pros and cons, I think, but everyone's going to have to do the World Cup break. So that's the way it is. Joe, tell a man that I play the old Bladen song again, Matty. Next time I see him, I'll recommend it. Wilson is a goal-hungry machine. Wilson on fire. Cheers, Jag. Appreciate that. Appreciate all the members of the channel. Ben's saying that Big Joe could be a shout. Could be. I mean, if the Brazilian manager was there yesterday, he was there yesterday. So if he's saying that and he likes him, then why not? You know what I mean? He's better than bloody Fred and that, isn't he? From Manchester United, Joelinton. So Joe, I think it's probably too soon for. I don't think he'll include him now before the World Cup, but I think in the future, if Joelinton continues this and he chips him with an odd goal like he did yesterday, there's a real chance that he's going to get that Brazil call up sooner than later, and fully deserved. Geordie's great, so happy to have met you and shook your hand. Pleasure, mate. Pleasure. Good meeting you too. Met Logias yesterday. Good crack as always. Love your channel, Miggy will have 10 goals. Oh, aye. Easy. He's got his own goal of the season competition, man. He deserves it. Where are we at then? Subs. I'm not going to bring up all the individual names. I've got them on here. The first sub was Target and Murphy for Botman and Willock. Target was looking a bit lively down that left-hand side. It was good to see him back. Obviously coming on against his former side. He just kind of getting the team because of how well Dan Burns playing, but Target did well. I would give him a 7. Jacob Murphy, I thought, was very good when he came on. I thought he was causing Villa a lot of problems. Loves hitting the post. Loves hitting the post. Can't stop hitting the post. Soccer AM back in the day, he would be unreal at the crossbar challenge. Loves hitting the post. Very unlucky. Nice goal that would have been. You know, cut in, edge of the box, bottom corner. Unfortunate. But, you know, dangerous when he came on. Jacob Murphy was dangerous. I can give him a 7 as well. Then we had Lascelles came on 82 minutes. Shelby came on 83 minutes. Maxi and Wood came on 86 minutes. Wouldn't normally give them ratings considering they didn't come on that late, but we'll fire through them. Shelby, I can't remember really doing anything. 6. Lascelles, I thought Lascelles was pretty good actually when he came on. Demanded players around him and controlled his area pretty well. Again, not much of a threat though from Villa. 6. Maxi had one good run down that left-hand side and was good to see him back. Good to see St. Maximin back on the pitch, and what an option that is to have off the bench, yeah? Like Savannah St. Maximin and John Joe Shelby. You bring them off the bench. Matty Target. That's a big change. That's a big change now at strength and depth. Maxi can have everyone can just have a 6. But actually, no, Wood can't. Because Wood should have scored. That ball into the box and then Wood should have scored. I don't think they showed that on the highlights. But I remember the ball coming in, Wood. It looked like he should have scored from where I was in the corner, like. But Wood can have a 5. Didn't matter though. But he should have made it 5-0. But it was quality. I think all the subs did play a part and did well. Let's go into Eddie Howe. And then any crack that you've got in the comments. Any questions, get them in before we're signing off. Eddie Howe, again, named an unchanged side. So he's going for it. You know, he's not changing things up. He's not resting. He's not thinking, right, maybe I should bring in Target. Maybe I should change things up. Do I start a different winger? He's just keeping things the same. Kept Joelinton up there. That worked well. Midfield's working so well. Bruno still played. And, you know, Wilson up top, staying fit. The tactics were spot on, weren't they? I mean, it was a cagey opening half an hour. It wasn't great. It was this very scrappy game. Stop-start because Villa were time-wasting and cheating. But the goal came at a perfect time. And then what I loved about Newcastle yesterday was the fact that we're just non-stop. We don't go 2-0 up, 3-0 up, and just shut up shop, just call it a day. We were at 4-0, never mind 2-0 after the break. You know, we were 4-0 up, and we're still trying to score goals right until the very end. You know, we're going for 5 goals, we're going for 6 goals. We kept on going for it. 60% possession yesterday, 20 shots, 7 on target, 520 passes. You know, there was a lot from Newcastle yesterday. We were relentless in the pursuit of entertaining, in attacking, in going for it, scoring goals. Our goal difference is looking brilliant at the minute, defensively and offensively. And it could be the game changer come the end of the season, depending on where we end up finishing because of goal difference. But Eddie Howe, again, full throttle football, going all out, playing well, great to see, the press, the intensity. It's just a joy to watch now, isn't it? Eddie Howe, 10 out of 10. Right then, let's see what you lot are seeing in the comments before we're saying out. Eddie Howe's done ridiculous. Well, no, I would rather not have either. I mean, I'm all about beer garden summer weather for the World Cup. But it's this winter. It's going to be different for a change, you know. But we'll just we'll try and enjoy it, see how England get on. If you're in Newcastle or you're not, and you want to come to Newcastle, there's only one place to watch the England games this winter, and that is at the NX Academy. It used to be the O2 Academy in Newcastle. We'll be doing the me, Keith Downey, a few ex-Newcastle players will be hosting that event at NX. £10 a ticket, massive projector screen, drink deals, all that good fun stuff, live music. It's going to be a class atmosphere for the World Cup. So we'll be enjoying that once it rolls around. We're only 21 days, 3 weeks today since the start of the World Cup, when it's Qatar versus whoever, and then it's England versus Iran on the Monday, 1 p.m. Right then, that'll do. There's the player ratings. What a result again for Newcastle United. 4-0 over Aston Villa. Another thrashing, another big win, and another comprehensive win. A dominant display by Eddie Howe's Mags. And then we're buzzing going into next week. Southampton away next Sunday is the next match. Got to be confident heading into that one. Did Southampton play this weekend, or do they play tomorrow? Does anyone play tomorrow? Southampton, did they draw yesterday with someone? Let's have a look. We got beat off Palace 1-0. But I fancy with chances going to Southampton, of course, to do. But stay tuned. Back by Channel TV during the week. We'll have the build up to the Southampton game. When I'm down Southampton, we'll have lots of footage down there. And obviously try and produce daily videos for you lot anyway. So any Newcastle news, any interesting articles to talk about, they'll be talked about on here. Everything Newcastle United gets covered on here. So smash that like button for this video. Subscribe to the channel. Hit the bell notification. And enjoy yourself.